So I worked in higher ed forever, in universities forever. And I was a leader. I had in some points hundreds of people reporting up through me. And the cachet, right, was butt time in seats. I need to be the first one there. I need to be the last one out. I was rarely the first one there. And that's a problem we're still working on, timeliness. But be seen a lot. And often I would stay very, very late, reading articles, getting caught up on emails, whatever. So I transitioned over to this company, and my boss, Dave, comes through. And it's 7:00 at night, and he did a late media hit, and he stops by and where my desk is, and he said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Oh, I'm working on this mental health thing." I was reading a fancy article out of a fancy journal. I was doing something for my work. And he said, "Go home." And I laughed because I told my employees to go home too. Right after I gave them a big project due tomorrow, I was like, "Y'all should just go on home, see your families." And they're like, "Well, thanks, genius. You just gave me this project to do." But I said, "Oh, I will, I will." And he goes, "No, no, 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 no. Go home." And then here's what he said. He said, "If you're no good there, you will be no good here. Go home." And I was like, whoa. And then a couple of weeks into going home and the workday was over, I realized I don't have the skills in my toolkit to be a dad from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. I know how to come in at 7, stand up and eat my dinner that I missed because I was late doing quote unquote important things. And I know how to make some jokes with my son and wrestle around with my daughter and make sure everybody gets in bed. And I know how to do that. I didn't know how to just kick a soccer ball back and forth mindlessly forever. I didn't know how to help with math homework. I didn't know how to check grades. I didn't know how to do these things. And so I lied to myself and said, since I don't know how to do that, that's somebody else's job. I'm going to go do this thing. And work became my mistress, right? Work became my addiction. And so I think it's about stepping back and saying, what's the ultimate goal here? Do I want to make a great living for me and my family and change my family tree financially? Absolutely. I also have to know that if your dad hasn't called you and said he's proud of you, that call's not coming when you get $1 million. It's just not. If you think you can abandon your wife and kids in an effort to go make money and then circle back and be like, look, everybody, they will have created a life without you, period. And so ask yourself at the end of the day, what really matters? What really matters? And yes, there are people who dedicate their life to the military. I've spent some time with Jocko. He's awesome. And he's exactly who he says he is. There's a group of men throughout all human history who have dedicated themselves to the preservation of a nation, to preservation of their families, and they go do amazing things. Awesome. And that comes at a cost. Comes at a cost. And so I don't know. I could talk all day about this, man. You're asking some great questions. I think ultimately we have to ask ourselves, what are we doing? What are we looking for? And just remembering that whatever you get, you go with you. You will, if you don't like yourself with $50,000, you are not going to like yourself with 500,000, and you're going to be a lot more stressed and have a lot more issues.
Because that's, I remember my mom saying that, is if you're not happy single, you're not going to be happy in a relationship. If you don't like yourself
1,000%.
now, you're not going to like yourself when as a millionaire. And I think that's the beauty of the book. There's literally a podcast worth of each topic. How do you judge then anxiety, the warning signs? How do you know what is suitable anxiety for growth, to challenge, to mold, to evolve, to, etc.?